The freak-off essentially was something that Cassie said she learned about through Sean Combs about a year into their relationship. He described it as voyeurism.
He had with what she was wearing. She said she would buy outfits from sex shops and see which one he wanted her to wear. And then inside the actual hotel rooms of their apartments where the freak-offs took place, she said that Combs was in charge of lighting. It began with candles. It then moved to studio lighting.
They might say she's lying, but that's going to be a little hard to do with that.
The courtroom was packed. Cameras weren't allowed, but the tension inside told its own story. And then, without warning, Diddy's daughters stood up, faces flushed with anger, pain, and disbelief, and stormed out. Why? Because what had just been played in front of them was something no child, no matter how grown, should ever have to witness. Something so disturbing, so deeply personal, that it changed everything. It all began with the release of the now infamous FreakOFF Tapes, a term that's quickly gone viral, referring to a series of allegedly leaked video and audio recordings that feature Sean Diddy Combs in what can only be described as dark, explicit, and potentially incriminating scenarios. While rumors about Diddy's secret life have circulated for years, this was different. This was direct, visual, audible, disturbing, and undeniable. What's worse, these tapes weren't leaked to the media. They were submitted into court as evidence in a high-profile civil case involving accusations of misconduct, coercion, and exploitation. And while much of the footage is under a gag order, what insiders are leaking is enough to shake the music world to its core. Among those present in court that day were Diddy's daughters, Chance, Delilah, and Jessie James, young women who, until recently, had appeared to have a close and loving bond with their father. They showed up in support, dressed in sleek black, calm, composed, ready to face whatever was coming, but nothing could have prepared them for what they saw. According to courtroom sources, the footage shown included scenes of Diddy engaging in violent, graphic acts, some allegedly under the influence, others appearing to involve non-consensual activity. What rocked observers was not just the content, but the timeline. The tapes spanned years, with some possibly overlapping with moments Diddy publicly portrayed himself as a reformed, family-centered man. The juxtaposition was jarring. The daughters, visibly shaken, reportedly turned to each other during one specific segment, whispered briefly, then stood up and walked out. One witness said, "They didn't look back. Their eyes were filled with something more than just hurt. It was betrayal. But how did we get here?" Let's rewind. Diddy, known for his musical empire, lavish parties, and powerful media influence, has always walked the line between mogul and mystery. For decades, rumors followed him about secret parties, off-limits basements, NDAs, hush money, and industry puppeteering. But through it all, he remained untouched, untouchable. These tapes claims that Diddy ran initiation rituals for those entering his inner circle, involving drugs, manipulation, and sexual coercion. What was once brushed off as industry rumors now seems to be gaining legal weight. And with those allegations come video receipts. But back to his daughters. The heartbreak in this story isn't just about fame or downfall, it's about family. Diddy raised his daughters in front of the world. We saw them on red carpets, at fashion shows, posing for matching Christmas pajama photos. To many, they represented a rare, bright spot in hip-hop, strong, confident black girls raised with love and luxury. But behind that filtered lens was a storm brewing. Sources close to the family say the girls had heard whispers for years, but chose not to believe them. Diddy was their dad, strict but generous, private but affectionate. They defended him publicly, laughed off the internet gossip, and leaned into his empire. Until now. When they walked out of court that day, it was more than symbolic, it was a statement. Not just to the world, but possibly to Diddy himself. We see you now. And what happens next could redefine everything. Legal analysts say Diddy is facing a multi-front war. Criminal investigations in 2 states, civil lawsuits that could cost him hundreds of millions, frozen assets and canceled business deals, and perhaps, most devastating of all, the loss of his family's trust. But here's the twist. Some believe more tapes are coming, that what's been revealed so far is just the beginning. Industry insiders suggest the government has more footage, more testimony, and even cooperating witnesses from Diddy's own team. And if that's true, we haven't seen anything yet. The daughters haven't made any public statements since leaving court, but fans noticed their bios were wiped clean. No photos of their father, no bad boy shoutouts, just silence. And in today's digital world, silence speaks volumes. As the case continues, one thing is clear: Diddy's legacy, once golden and untouchable, is now hanging by a thread. The man who built empires from music and image is watching it all collapse, not just in headlines, but in the eyes of his own children. No matter what the court decides, the damage inside that courtroom, the emotional, human damage, has already been done. And for the millions watching from home, it's a chilling reminder. Behind every mogul, there's a story the spotlight never shows. So now, we turn the question to you. What do you think really happened behind closed doors? Do you believe the tapes are authentic? And can Diddy ever recover?